Alright, so we've drawn the two sides and the base. If we go back to our drawing, we're now going to look at putting in the funnel, and we'll look at putting in two of these pillars. That's what we'll look at doing here. So, as with everything with Fusion, when we start our next piece, we want to create a component. So we'll go create component, new component, and we can call this the funnel. Funnel is what eventually the volley makes its way down, and it'll rotate or swing through the little angle and then come out that side there. So to start sketching this, we want to be on that front panel, and we want to draw a rectangle. Use the dimension tool, and this is going to be 168 millimeters long by 42. We can then say finish sketch and extrude that 42. We now want to look at drilling a hole that will line up with that center hole there. So that hole might make this 122. Dimension can be 22. And this piece of timber is 42 millimeters wide, therefore that'll be 21. The whole thing is 168 long, so the distance there needs to be 84. So we've now found the center, finish sketch, extrude, minus 42. And we now have a rectangular piece of timber, not too different in size to your puzzle, with a hole into it. We now want to go to the front and look at creating an arc. So we've got these line tools here, but if you click on create and select arc, we can create a 3-point arc. So what I want to do, come across, I'm using the grids and the squares there. I'm just going to drop that down. I'll say finish sketch and extrude and call that minus 42. And now we've created that. We want to see this entire piece. We want to click on the very top, click on that circle, because when we use a jointing tool, it's better to be able to see everything. And we're now going to look at grabbing that bottom corner. I prefer, again, a bit fiddly, click on that corner. And so I want that corner to sit in that corner, which can be hard to see from this view. So if I grab that corner, I can now move it around, and I can look at trying to fit this in. Sometimes it is a bit fiddly. We'll look at putting this up. Let's put it just here and see what it does. I didn't quite enjoy that. That's fine. Press that jointing tool. There's a bit of finessing when it comes with this, which isn't the easiest part of Fusion to deal with. Letter J. I'll grab a different corner then. And let's look at seeing where I can fit this. So, drag it to there. This is not uncommon for it to go to a particular point you don't like, so you can look at using these little tools. So if we zoom in, we can look at dragging that across. Now you'll see how as I'm dragging on the right hand side just here, it's jumping by 5 millimeter lots. So not quite what I'm after. If I want to go minus 21, gets me just about to the middle. That's good. Don't press enter because then it finishes what we're trying to do. And that's not the idea at the moment. Dragging that all the way across. Zooming out, zooming in. You really need a mouse when you're dealing with this. So if it's a bit fiddly when it comes to the jointing tool, you can look at using these different functions there. And then drag that up until you see that it sits in the right spot. Now when you press enter, picture of the house, you'll see there's the funnel, which is what we drew in the base and the funnel. If I turn the funnel off, oh, now I've gone through the base. Oh, sorry, that was base. If I turn the funnel off, the funnel will disappear. The next thing we want to look at drawing is the pillars. So we want to create a new component, and this can be the pillar. We'll say OK, and we'll sketch. Draw ourselves a rectangle. These pillars can be 38 millimeters. finish sketch, extrude. I can't quite see that one. Might turn my drawing around. There we go. And these are going to be 45 millimeters tall. I now want to look at the base of my job. I'm using the joint and the movement tools, so I want to see everything that I have drawn. I'm grabbing the letter J, grabbing my little pillar, and I'm going to base it right on the corner. So there it is. If I then look at the front, I can see, zoom out, zoom in. I might even go to that bottom corner, so I can see I'm right on the edge. I'm just there, and from that center, I'm going to move it 25 millimeters across. I'll press enter. And I can look at using the mirrored plane again, or I can look at drawing myself another one. New component, component 6, and then this will also be another pillar. Pillar 1, it automatically gives it another name. I'm going to sketch, same orientation, draw myself a circle, way too big, dimension tool, make that 38, finish the sketch, extrude, can't quite see it, so let's rotate our job around until I can see my circle that I just drew. There it is, 45. Turn around so I can see the entire job. This one is going to joint to that corner there. So I'm jointing that, rotate it to the bottom, zoom that in, until find that center. So sometimes there are some gremlins involved in this, because it's trying to orientate itself off that piece there. So it's going to jump to there. I'm going to turn that to about 30. I'll grab that and say minus 25, I think was my last measurement. If I look at the bottom now, I'll see if these line up the way I want them to. Looks like they are a little tiny bit out. So I might just move that 5 mil across. I like the way that looks at the moment. Move, grab this guy, and we might even go 5 mil. Maybe even 10 mil across. So move, grabbing this, and coming across 5. 10, enter. Picture of the house. We've now drawn the funnel and the 2 pillars.